What a crazy few weeks it's been for Palantir. After gaining over 300% in 2024, the stock has dropped close to 20% in the past few weeks, and suddenly people are beginning to panic. The stock is now up over 200% since I made this video back in May, where I went through why the stock is such a huge opportunity and why I was loading up on Palantir's stock. If you follow the stock, then you know just how much Palantir is growing. And there is one very important date that is coming up very soon that I will talk about later in this video. And you can decide if this is the right time to buy, sell, or hold Palantir stock. Stick around to discover how you can make the most of this pivotal moment in Palantir's history. But before we get into the video, if you find any value in this, can I ask you to smash the like button? It literally costs nothing, but it helps the channel out so much. I'm aiming to get 1,000 likes on this video. Help me achieve that goal. For anyone that's new, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content like this. I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, so always do your own due diligence. Now let's get straight into it. So what is Palantir Technologies? Palantir is a software company that builds the world's leading platforms for data-driven operations and decision-making. Palantir specializes in data analytics. Its software lets businesses capture and integrate data, develop and manage AI and machine learning models, and build applications that incorporate those data sets and models. These applications help workers make better decisions, and Palantir develop long-term partnerships with organizations working together to help them realize the value in their data and transform how they operate. The company provides solutions for many industries such as automotive, cyber, financial compliance, law enforcement, and defense forces, among others. It serves various private enterprises, public institutions, and non-profit organizations. Palantir is a fully global company and has operations in North America, Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, but Palantir is headquartered in the US. So that's a very simple breakdown of what Palantir is and what they do. Now, Palantir recently debuted a new product called AIP, or Artificial Intelligence Platform, which brings support for large language models and generative AI to its existing software. With industry analysts having praised Palantir for its technology developments, ranking Palantir as a leader in the artificial intelligence and machine learning and data science market in many reports over the past 2 years. Looking at the recent investors presentation, Palantir reported encouraging financial results. The company beat analyst estimates with very encouraging results, and the stock has been on the rise ever since. US commercial revenue grew 54% year over year, and total revenue grew 30% year over year, but only 7% from the previous quarter. US government revenue also grew by 40%, with the average existing customer spending more. In turn, revenue increased to $726 million, and Palantir recorded GAAP EPS growth of 100% to 6 cents and adjusted EPS of 10 cents, as well as maintaining a very strong Rule of 40 score, which is a very important metric for software as a service companies. Now, importantly, Palantir recorded their 7th consecutive quarter of GAAP operating profitability, and their 8th consecutive quarter of GAAP net income. In a lot of ways, Q3 2024 was by far Palantir's best quarter to date. They have increased their income. They have increased their customer count, both government and commercial, in the US and also abroad. Palantir has signed 104 new deals of at least 1 million or more, and have ended the quarter in a better position than ever before with no debt and $4.6 billion in cash and cash equivalents. But Q3 2024 was Palantir's best quarter ever for more than just financial metrics. Palantir was admitted to the S&P 500 back in September. This is something that I talked about for months, but it came as a shock to a lot of people. This provided one of the biggest catalysts of the year for Palantir stock. So to have seen this coming months in advance was a game changer. But Palantir also signed major deals too. Now finally, since the release of the last quarterly earnings report, Palantir has been skyrocketing, and it's worth keeping in mind that the next report will be for full year 2024. So when we look at the guidance, we can see that management set expectations for Q4 of between $767 and $771 million. Palantir did also raise their full year 24 guidance yet again, estimating sales of approximately $2.8 billion. They expect to report free cash flow in excess of $1 billion for the year, providing the company with enough room to target acquisitions and invest heavily in organic growth. Now, I mentioned the rule of 40 a moment ago, and this is a very important metric for growing software as a service companies. Alex Karp has mentioned it a ton of times, and we've seen it in every single earnings presentation. But if you don't know what that is, here is a very simple quote. The 40% rule is that your growth rate plus your profit should add up to 40%. So if you were growing at 20%, you should be generating a profit of at least 20%. But if you are doing better than 40%, then that's awesome. Now, in the case of Palantir, they are absolutely smashing it. 68% recorded in the past quarter. But it's the individual breakdown that's even more impressive, as Palantir's revenue growth and operating margins both hit their highest percentages ever. 68 is an insane rule of 40 score. Now, Palantir's next earnings report could be as little as 3 weeks away. I don't think there is any official date set yet, but Nasdaq.com reckons that this will be February 3rd. So if you would like to see an earnings preview video, then drop a comment below. There was some major deals announced before the end of 2024, so it looks like it could be a massive earnings report. Now, you might have seen the headlines over the past few weeks saying insiders are selling Palantir. Or that Cathie Wood takes profits in Palantir and should you follow suit? Or even headlines like this one, billionaires are selling Palantir stock and buying an index fund that may soar up to 100%. And I've got a few things to say about all of these headlines. So to address this was the first headline that caught my attention. Palantir stock drops 8% after insider sells $36 million in shares. And this was Ryan Taylor, who sold 483,000 shares worth about $36 million. So it is a big sale, but it's nothing new. It's just a headline to grab attention. It's just clickbait. Looking at Benzinga, we can see Ryan Taylor's PLTR shares. And this is going back well into 2023. It's all share sales. Again, it's the same for CEO Alex Karp. Going back to when Palantir was as little as $7. These guys get granted shares and they sell them. It doesn't matter what the price is, and it's not an indication that the price is going to go up or down. It's just the way it is. But within all these headlines of share sales, we never hear about the share purchases, or at least they're not given the same visibility. Like this, Sage Capital Advisors LLC raised its stake in shares in Palantir Technologies by 309% during the fourth quarter. Or Oriental Harbour Investment Fund purchasing a new stake in Palantir of 440,000 shares, worth over $33 million. In fact, if we look at Fintel, there is much more buying going on than selling, yet we don't hear about it. Will Palantir stock double in 2025? Palantir's AI solutions serve both commercial and government clients. Palantir is a profitable and quickly growing software company, and the stock's high valuation could be a headwind to further share price growth this year. So as we all know already, Palantir was one of the hottest AI stocks of 2024. Despite all the talk of valuation being too high, it still managed to rise by more than 300% during the year. So first of all, Palantir's software has found a use case in multiple fields. Palantir is an AI company that provides purpose-built solutions for its clients. Originally, it was targeting the government, but then eventually expanded to include commercial customers. And one of the latest additions to Palantir's product line is its AIP platform, which is Palantir's answer to the generative AI trend. AIP allows its customers to integrate AI models into businesses' inner workings and automate many processes. And this has seen a massive spike in demand for Palantir's software, especially on the US commercial side of the business. In Q3, Palantir's total revenue increased 30% to $726 million, while US commercial revenue rocketed 54% higher. Now, clearly, the US commercial business isn't Palantir's largest segment, but it is the company's fastest growing one. And they are now producing their best profit margins to date, which we can see here. Palantir's valuation could hinder its stock, but then the biggest issue comes along, and I feel that this is one that keeps getting said over and over, although it is beginning to have some credibility. Palantir's valuation could hinder its stock's success in 2025. Now, revenue increased 30% year over year in the last quarter, but the stock rose by 340% for the year, which doesn't add up and creates a disparity in the valuation. A stock's valuation gives investors a relative idea of how much the market is willing to pay for the price of a company, which means nothing by itself, but it is extremely useful when comparing stocks. Most software stocks trade between 10 and 20 times sales, whereas Palantir trades at 69 times sales. So just a quick note on this, if Palantir announced earnings that meet their guidance or even beat it a bit, then this ratio will look a little better, dropping into the 50s, ultimately depending on where the share price is by the time earnings takes place. But this is probably the thing that concerned me the most from this article. Nvidia posted multiple quarters in a row where its revenue more than tripled year over year. However, Nvidia never traded for more than 46 times sales during that run. With Palantir's valuation well higher than that despite far slower growth, it could be a bubble. As a result, I don't think the stock will double in 2025. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised to see it decline throughout the year. While Palantir is doing fantastic and will continue to produce great results in 2025, the stock has already baked in years of growth and there isn't much upside left. And some of this I do agree with. If you've been following my channel throughout 2024, my short-term price target for Palantir was $30 at the start of the year, back when the stock was only $17. As the year went on, my price target became $50, and by July, I felt that $65 was the upper limit for the stock. Now, Palantir went on to hit $84, which is insane. So I don't think the Palantir stock will double in 2025, or at least not from the current price. I still believe that AI will be one of the biggest industries of 2025, and there is no doubt that Palantir is doing great and will be a big part of this. But the downtrend that the stock is currently on might continue for a while yet before we see a reversal. After such a big spike up at the end of 2024, this could be a time for some consolidation. But guys, what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There is a lot of talk on social media, as always, about Palantir, but always do your own due diligence. Remember that I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice, but if you enjoyed this analysis, then please like and subscribe. But before you click away from this video, there is also a free 7-day trial, so do yourself justice, take the trial, check out some articles, and learn something that you don't already know. Trust me, your portfolio will thank you. If you don't like it, then cancel it within the 7 days at no cost. It really is that easy. They have articles on every stock. Like for example, just look at this. Back when Palantir was at rock bottom at the beginning of last year, trading at only $6, there was all these articles screaming that Palantir is a buy. The stock is up more than 900% since these articles. That's 900%, guys. So click on the link below and check out the free trial. Even if you don't like it, cancel it, but make use of the free trial. I hope you make a load of money on Palantir and any other stocks going forward. Follow me on Twitter and I'll catch you in the next video.